The fact that RSS has maintained an anti-homosexual stand is no secret, especially since the Supreme Court ruling that recriminalized same-sex relationships. But what is the extent of their anti-homosexual stand? Sample this. RSS mouthpiece Organiser gives an insight. Take a look at some of the excerpts. The article reads, homosexuals call Article 377 as violation of their fundamental right. Hence, the questions arise whether contracting AIDS through gay activities, engaging in prostitution, earning money through corruption or smoking and drinking are fundamental rights. But all of that, another excerpt reads, people like LGBTs and others who want to have that sexual enjoyment facility in India are working towards that end, with the result that dirty sex like rape playing around in the country with increasing rapidity. Moreover, the mouthpiece also argues that the Supreme Court's rejection of the centre's plea against Section 377 is in fact a milestone in preserving the values of the country. The question that we ask the BJP, even though till now they have maintained an anti-homosexuality stand concurring with the RSS, do they actually believe in the language that the RSS mouthpiece has used, and why are they all still silent? We have guests on this. We have Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. She's a human rights activist. We have Onir, director from Kolkata. We are going to cut across at this point of time to Onir, who's just joined us from Kolkata. Onir, what do you make of moral reference points being defined by the RSS in that mouthpiece? And keeping in mind, you're looking at an election here, there is the BJP who clearly stands by the RSS. What do you make of things to come, especially where the LGBT community is concerned?
I think RSS just reeks of double standards. You know, their moral values reeks of double standards and everything, you know, right from equating LGBT with rape, with AIDS. It just shows lack of knowledge, you know, when they talk about, I mean, there are more HIV positive people who are from the heterosexual community. So do we ban heterosexual activity in this country? You know, there are more rapes where women are raped.
Right.
You know, what has that to do with homosexuality? So, you know, I think it's such, you know, sometimes it amazes me that how can these so-called leaders just issue such random, irresponsible and statements.
You know, Onir, you know, these are random, you know, you're saying these are random statements. Many would concur with you. Yes, they are random statements, but they are of political nature as well. The question, therefore, I ask you is, as a community, are you going to band together these elections and not vote for the BJP? How are you politically taking your movement forward? Because you need to now, keeping in mind the current circumstances.
Yes, I think the LGBT community as large, and I think it's not just the community, anybody who believes in human rights and right thinking should take a stand. We will take a stand and not vote for a party that is propagating hatred and regressive, you know, attitude, or keeping quiet and not taking a stand. That itself is taking a stand. You know, when you don't have, very often you don't have a forthright statement coming, it means that you're supporting certain regressive stance taken by your partners like RSS. And I don't think anybody from the community who is proud of their own identity, and any right-thinking human rights activist who believes in human rights are going to vote for a party which is
taking off from what you're saying, any right-thinking activist, or any right-thinking person in this day and age will not stand by this jargon, is what you're trying to say, Onir. So what do you make of the face of the BJP, Mr. Narendra Modi, who's pretty much being projected as this messiah of development, but absolutely silent when it comes to LGBT rights?
I think, you know, development comes, the biggest thing, important thing for a nation is respecting human rights, respecting the individual freedom, and not, you know, and not creating all these walls within the society. Today, you know, they're constantly talking about, oh, it's a minuscule population, but tomorrow, if everything is, you know, according to the majority, then tomorrow a certain other community, be it the Christians, be it the Muslims, who are right now also speaking against the LGBT community at large, they might be targeted. And that is what, you know, surprises me, is why are these people not understanding? Minority is not about numbers. And though, you know, it's a lie that it's a minuscule number, it's a huge number, but even if it was a small number, by the nature of our constitution, being a democratic country, even if it's one person, we have to have our right to equality, dignity and health, which is a part of our constitution.
Okay.
So that cannot be denied to us, whether it's one person
Onir,
or
appreciate if you'd stay with us. I want to take a quick question from Priyanka Chaturvedi. She's a spokesperson Congress. She's also joined us on this. So Priyanka, you know, your government is, as we speak, looking at putting out a curative petition where the courts are concerned on Section 377. The question I ask you is, are you going to make it an issue at all, because you are in elections in the next 2 months, and this is as much about rights for LGBT as it is right where human rights come into play?
No, absolutely. I was listening to Onir and I totally agree with his point of view, and it is an issue which needs to be taken up. Considering that we had asked for a curative petition in the Supreme Court, we would continue supporting this and supporting this entire movement and ensuring that every single citizen, even if it is in the minority of one, gets the right they deserve. And the human considering the entire human rights angle to this, they deserve this right. They deserve to be a part, considered a part of the entire
Appreciate you joining us, Priyanka. We're running short of time. Onir, thank you for joining us on this show. We would, before we close this bulletin, want to tell our viewers that we had approached the BJP to maybe come on the show and present their point of views. They deferred. They did not want to come. With that.